going on, everybody? Long time no see. If you're just carrying over from World Makers Consortium, hello. Glad to see you guys again. Glad you made it over. If not, it's your first time here. I'm Famine from Famine Studios. We do live streaming content, customizing 1/18 scale world building. Occasionally we do props and a couple of cosplay things here and there, but it's mainly toy stuff, mainly world building, scale model making, dioramas and the like, customizing figures. And I figured today, it's Friday, I got a new set from Target that's pure nostalgia, and I just want to take it from like what it is up to what it could be, right? So while we wait for our friends to join us here, I do want to thank my patrons. Without you guys, you know, this would be possible. It would just take me forever and a day. Bjorn, the first patron, the first super chat that we've had here on the channel. Always appreciate you, Bjorn. Bjorn was our part-time guest tonight on World Makers, playing with my 375, Lord of Thane, Task Force, Wombat, Fat Red Foo, Toy Domination, Outer Multiverse, and excuse me, let's thank our newest patron, Mr. Gregory. So thank you for joining. And we've got Red Fat Foo here. Fat Red Foo, son of a bitch, I'll get it right one day. Guy pays my bills, I can't even say his name right. First time caller, long time listener. Yeah, it feels like a radio mic up there, doesn't it? And Ant made it in the chat. We appreciate you being here, brother. Thank you. So, I got something that's in the comment section, or excuse me, the little comment box below, the description below, as it were. There's a link to it. It's actually on sale this week, whatever Target's got a toy sale on, but it's the Dennis Nedry Capture and Collect, or Chase and Capture set. Essentially what it is a set based off of long ago Jurassic World or Jurassic Park figures. Basically, I need to add some slides, right? I need to show you guys these two things. All right, let's see here. Oh, and of course they got to be freaking All right. We're doing it the old-fashioned way. You'd think I'd have this by now. We're going to take a ride over my old stomping grounds. We're going to go to the original forum back that I used to moderate when it was run by Dino Dan, when Dan Clemens ran it. It is the largest, the biggest collective and complete collection of Jurassic Park toys. I don't know about their forum anymore. I have no say in anything, but I was there when we had the database completely taken care of, and I do just want to show you guys what this set that I've got here is based on. It is the new Dennis Nedry set. It comes with this JP3 homage Raptor, which is cool. It's an homage to when Hasbro had the toy line. Then we have the ridiculously buff, jacked Dennis Nedry based on the Jurassic Park Wave 2 figure set with his fucking acid backpack. Did I make it 30 seconds? Hey, I did. With his freaking acid spraying backpack that in the old toys used to be a water pistol type thing. Ridiculous. And then we've got his capture cycle. I didn't put the accessories on it mainly because I don't like them. And this will actually probably go into my Jurassic Boner pool. But we're gonna make these better, right? We're gonna do some very simple things to beef them up. So let's go ahead here. Excuse me 1 second. I'm gonna start sharing my screen with you. And we're going to take a walk through the Jurassic World, the jptoys.com screen. And we'll go to JP Toys and share that screen. And now you guys can see. So we'll go to Series 2. This was the line, Series 2. And then we'll go right to the humans page. So the figure that I've got here is a homage to this figure. It's ridiculous. They made Nedry like this buff macho dude. They gave him the squirt pack. Then they included this weird Pachycephalosaurus that looks like he wanted to fight somebody. We don't know why. Apparently maybe he was going to be cast by somebody. Is that showing? Yes, that is showing. We don't know why. He might have been, share this tab instead. There we go. But yeah, he came with the ridiculous water pack and the Pachycephalosaurus that looks like he wants to fight somebody. I'm not sure why, the trading card. But this figure is a direct homage to that. And then let's take it a little further right? Let's take it a little further. We'll go back over here. We'll go back to this tab, and it retailed for $4.99. It's ridiculous. It's great, right? Like, this to me is absolutely bananas, and I'm hoping that with them doing stuff from Wave 2, because we also got this, crazy. We got figures based off of this, right? We got these crazy things. And let me get back to sharing that page again. There we go. So we've already got this like in the new Classics, 93 Classics collection. Let's take a look at the Nedry that they had from Series 1, right? Like, this is how ridiculous this was. Again, they had him like jacked and, sunglasses and baby Dilophosaurus, because, he's a spitter, so he has the squirt gun, and it was tranquilizer spray. And I got to remember to show you guys the screen, but it's ridiculous. Like, there's no reason for Nedry to look like that. They went out of their way, and I think that's hilarious now. It's absolutely bananas. So I don't know about you guys, but I am always impressed when toy companies like go ahead and say, hey, we want to try something new. We want to make something. Now, there was Chaos Effect toys, and I'm trying to remember if the buff-armed Nedry figure, let me see here, because there was one with bare arms, and I'm trying to remember. I think it came with a vehicle, maybe? But it was very fascinating to see them come up with like using that figure. Out of all the figures that they could have done, they went with that. And I mean, I'm here for it, right? I'm absolutely here for it. It just, it was bananas. So now we've got this play set, and I'm calling it a play set because it comes with figures, right? And let me show you guys the Raptor that came from this line. Oh, those are the posing ones. We don't want those. We want the dinosaurs. It was the Alpha Velociraptor. And by the way, back when I helped run this website, we had way better photographs. So let me go ahead. Why did they use my name instead of my YouTube? Oh, that's yours? I will go ahead and make that change right now for you then, Triple D. I will make that change. There we go. All right, so let me go ahead and show this screen now. Okay, so that's the Raptor that this is an homage to. It was the Hasbro Jurassic Park 3 React Attack Raptor. And I mean, aside from the missing nasal cavity flare and, the dino damage clear on the shoulder and the crest of feathers. Here we go. Let's see if I can split screen this. Can I? Nope, can't. But yeah, that's what this is. So we're going to take this a little bit further. We're going to apply the rule of cool, make it look a little better, and I'm excited about that. So we can also switch back. There we go. So yeah, we've got these cool things. Hey, thank you, Pirates. Thank you for being in here. I appreciate it. And yeah, make sure you guys hit a like, hit the share button for me too, if you could. What that does is that tells YouTube like, oh, snap. people want to, share this with their friends, there must be something exciting going on. Let's drive more traffic to here. So always appreciated. But let's get the overhead going. We'll take a look at what came with this set. And I've got the accessories that go on the bike. So, and boom, let's bring you in. A little too far that way. There we go. Bring it in even more. Cool. So we've got the Raptor. It does have the paint going down the legs. It's got paint around the eyes, which is cool. Mimicking those JP3 colors. This is where the dino damage area would have been, but it's got that I think it's scannable tech for this chip. And it's got the big old feet. Ross got a bunch of Star Wars and Fortnite figures. That is good to know. I don't have any Ross here. What I do have is Ollie's. But for anybody following along, if you have a Ross, Fortnite and Star Wars figures. So what I want to do with the Rule of Cool, I think, is use some of this dark brown and black and extend that. Maybe make these leg stripes a little better. Maybe do something with the tail. You guys know me. I like to have the crazy patterns on the tail. Maybe, just highlight some stuff on here. Obviously, we'll get the nails and we'll give this guy a once-over wash, and I think that'll really make him pop. Because it does. It's like a white, kind of gray speckled Raptor. It's that homage to the 93 guy. He's got his sharp teeth. His mouth opens and closes. We can just improve that with a little bit of Rule of Cool, which is taking the same colors that are here and extending them, making it a little more vibrant, a little more complicated, right? But not complicated in the work that we're doing, complicated in the way that it's going to look. People are going to think you did something. And I do. I love that little head turn that he's capable of, or she's capable of. I think that's super cool. So we got that Raptor there. Then we got the motorcycle, which I love. This is the kind of the motorcycle that they've been using all the way across the Jurassic Park lines. But I can't remember. I don't think any of them had this special shield on the front of it. So that's very cool. It's got the embossed Tyrannosaurus Rex from the Jurassic logo there. And it's got it there as well. But it's got all this detail. I mean, I'm talking, see if I can catch it in the light. All that detail, but they're doing nothing with it. And then it's got this abysmal orange and green stripe pattern, which I love. These tires, they could use a little bit of dirtying up. And then the attach points for these guys. I don't want to put them on here. This one goes here, and that's a little rocket to stop the dinos with. Get out of here with that. I don't want that. This one here would go there, and it's got a swing out arm that you can extend and wrangle dinosaurs with. Again, not for what I plan on using this for. This guy will probably reside in my Jurassic motor pool. But I know a lot of you guys are Star Wars here, so I wanted to touch on a couple of things as we work on this, because you can certainly use these for world building. I know a lot of people have been using the Mattel figures for civilians and different bodies, but let's get a look at Nedry here. Again, ridiculous figure, just absolutely bonkers. They gave him the pack. They gave him the flamethrower spray tank. Very cool, but they gave him the impossibly buff arms. It's so ridiculous. They gave him the impossibly buff arms. That comes off with the breather on it. And then look at this Wayne Knight head. I'm going to actually swap that onto my Hammond collection Nedry, because I think it's just a little bit better. But my goodness, and you could easily pop that off, says Famine, who can't easily do anything. But it is a ball socket. You could pop that right off. The glasses look nice. Not gonna lie to you, those are probably some of the best glasses they've done in the line. He's got that round jovial face, but again, I guess the idea of the figure is that he survived on the island and became a fucking commando. But he's got these bear guns, and I love it. He started the stream. Well, we can still add it after the stream. But look at that ridiculous, cheerful Dennis Nedry head, and you with the ball joint, you can kind of get him looking sly, I got away with something. But yeah, it's just solid orange plastic, but there's all that detail in it, right? There's the vest, the pouches, the knives, the buckles. It's easy. We can do this. It's not complicated. Oh, I said we can just update the thumbnail after the live stream for anybody that comes along to see it. That's not hard at all. But here's a wild one. He's got a watch band on this arm and a watch band on this arm, but they didn't paint this one. It's just molded into the flesh tone. So we'll do like a brown strap or a leather black strap or something there, but we'll give this a wash. But I just thought this was so funny, the buff Nedry. They did a good job, I will say, on the jeans. You can tell there's a little bit of a wash or some dry brushing. Probably was in the mold while they did it because there is differential in color. Then we've got the brown boots. They could just use a little bit of a dry brush of a different color, and then we'll do a quick wash on this figure. So there is opportunity in these. You could certainly keep this as Wayne Knight's head, stick this backpack on him and call him a spacer. You could pop the head off and put an alien on there. You could pop the head off and put a Star Wars guy on there. Possibilities literally are endless with these. Now, real quick, I want to take you guys back over to the JP Toys website to show you there's new toys coming out. There are new toys that are coming that are 1/18 that are in scale with our stuff. Most of what Mattel, if not all of what Mattel has been producing, has been my brain just completely blanked. It has been, in our scale. So with the new Chaos Theory show, I like this textured yellow, like puffer coat. It's very cyberpunk. So is his backpack. It's got that futuristic effect. They finally gave us a crouching Atrociraptor, which is cool. And that's the one from Jurassic World Dominion. So clearly he survives this encounter because it takes place first. We've got another Darius here in this playset with other dinosaurs. We've got Ben. Ben was like the survivor from that show with this crazy trank gun, which is very sci-fi, would look good with your figures. And then there's going to be dinosaurs for the show. Don't fret. You guys know me. Oh, I love that. That's cool. I haven't even seen that one yet. You guys know me. I love my dinosaurs, but here we're going to talk about the people because you could certainly world build with them. Let's see. I know there's some more people coming out because I've seen the advertisements for it. But yeah, this is like the scope of the line that they keep putting out. They just keep putting out banger after banger dinosaurs. It's really good. It's really enjoyable. And new ones too. Look at how beautiful. Pachyrhinosaurus. That's a big, gorgeous one. Definitely a sci-fi looking dinosaur. The mint and the vanilla variants of this Triceratops that they are offering. This one comes with a smashed up playset to get into, I guess. No driver in that truck, but you guys could certainly use that. Flip those tires, make it into a some type of craft. And this is the set that we're working on today. This is what it looks like. It's available at Target exclusive. You can get them on Amazon, but they show up like way after, and people want like 2 or 3 times the cost. But there are humans in this line. Ooh, you're pretty. You're pretty. There are humans in this line, again, that are good and in scale. There's Barry. He was in not the Lost World. He was in Jurassic Park. Man, can you tell? Jurassic World, and then he showed up again in Jurassic World Dominion. Key player of the show. Helps to have representation on the shelves. Also, it's a good body buck for anybody. Just a plain open shirt person. We got Dieter Stark here from the Lost World. Comes with the Unimog. I know a lot of you guys also do war playing with your toys. Unimog's a great military truck to have, but you've got Dieter here. You could scalp the vest off of him and have just a plain shirt guy, throw the vest on somebody else. Plenty of opportunity. This thing, I am excited for this guy, but we won't talk about that because Famine doesn't have that much space. If you want 10,000 Chris Pratts, these are probably going to be on clearance soon at Target. Blue is brand new. She's just showing up on the shelves. Like there's just a ton in this line, in the Jurassic World line, that is there for people to pick figures from. You can pick human beings. You can have. She is very wise. She's very wise. Smarter than me, I always say. And you've got like all kinds of dinosaurs. This one looks like a parrot. It's a different colorway, the Pyroraptor. I think that's the funniest goddamn thing in the world. You guys have seen my other Pyroraptor that I did. I can actually bring him right here. Put him on the little cam. But I did him up purples and blues and greens with a little bit of orange. And I just love this guy. Great figure. Dave, I'm telling you, 10,000 Chris Pratts is a nightmare. I'd be horrified. I like Chris Pratt as an actor. I don't know. I could care less about what he does personally, but also, like, I'm just tired of seeing him and everything. Just, like, so tired of everything having Chris Pratt in it, so. I'm tired of it, boss. I'm just so tired. This Dilophosaurus, love that colorway. Wish they'd work something better out for the frill. This is great. I've got one of these. There will be a throne on her back, and she will have the Mandalorian Queen from my clan riding on her back. So that's her beast of burden, as it were, for the clan of Mandalorians. If you guys tuned into the World Makers Consortium, Deadman was showing off this Indoraptor. That's the one he's got, and he's right. It's very articulated. It's very shiny with the scales. It lights up a little bit, and it makes noise. This T-Rex is one of my favorite T-Rexes that they've offered. So that's something, if you're looking into dinosaurs. I've got this guy. Again, you could be getting a truck and a generic soldier and a dinosaur. I've thrown it up in a couple of the group chats. If you guys are following me there on Instagram, sometimes I put them in my stories on Amazon. This set often winds up like $6 or $7. I try and make people aware. If that happens, I'll throw my affiliate link up. You guys don't pay anymore. I get a little kickback from old Steve Amazon, so that's always appreciated. And then here are some more of those 93 classic sets. Grant done up to match the old Alan Grant figure from the first wave. He comes with binoculars. You get 2 dinosaurs in the set. That's always a plus. And then we've got Ian Malcolm with the hang glider and another couple of dinosaurs and a bunch of ridiculous stuff. And, you know, I've got the classic Red Rex. We talked about this. We can actually take a look at this a little bit later. I picked up another one on clearance so that I could open it up. Very excited about that. And then this is the homage to the actual Jurassic Park 3 Velociraptor that they did in this line that's not in the Hammond collection. Pretty standard fare figure, standard fare Velociraptor, but it's cool. It's got the quills. People like the quills. It's got the extra ridge crest on its nose. You know, I wish they'd still give him the longer fingers like they gave this one from the Nedry set. Has the longer fingers and not the short squat ones with the webbing. I'll probably chop that webbing a little back because they didn't have that. We have no proof that they had webbing there. They just kind of stick it there. Maybe it's a molding and casting thing, but there are so many opportunities for stuff in Jurassic. When I started buying the Jeeps and they went on clearance, I got 3 of the number 10 Jeep for my Jurassic Park stuff. So I've got a bunch of Ellies with raincoats. I can actually make extra raincoated figures. This set was worth its weight in gold if you can get your hands on it. If you're complaining you don't have enough dock workers in Star Wars for your world building, when they sold this set, it was only $39.99. You get this jail cell here. I don't know if the mouse shows, if you guys can see the mouse on my screen, but the Raptor pen is actually correct size. It fits the Raptor. They stack. You get the knee pads for the dock workers, their flashlights, their vests, their radios. You take those off and you've got just regular guys in jumpsuits, very nondescript, could be working anywhere. You rub that hard hat off or make head swaps. You also get Muldoon. What a great set. Eddie Carr. This is one I haven't picked up yet. I don't need another Tyrannosaurus. I've got so many, but eventually I want to get this Mercedes with Eddie because I love The Lost World. But that's just me being me. If you want scientists, could be Imperial scientists, pick up a couple of these John Arnold, and take the jacket and the sleeves. Pop his, other arms on there, and you've got a businessman. You could, change him into like some type of, citizen or corporate guy or whatever. If you do a cyberpunk, he could be a corpo or a hacker. Muldoon, if you want like an adventurer dude, again, you can scalp these vests off of them for figures. John Hammond, I think we've all seen what Lord of Thane has done with his Thrawn. John Hammond But the Hammond Collection one also comes with an ice cream pint and ice cream scooper, and I think that's just the best thing in the world. Again, accessories. Here's Nedry. And, like, tell me this head isn't miles better than that head on there. Comes with the Barbasol can, the stick for the Dilophosaurus, and he's got the spit face. You don't have to use those, but if you want a more huskier guy, a little more rotund, some weight around the belly, you pick that up there. Oh, yeah, it's got the guy who dies in the first movie. Absolutely. And let me real quick say hi. Yeah, that's been said, and like I get why some of that's been said, but some of that's also been refuted, so it's really weird. And again, I'm just fucking tired of seeing him and everything and hearing his voice for, animated stuff that there's voice actors out there that don't need Chris Pratt. Brad, thank you for coming in. Always appreciate you stopping in. Does the Nedry on your desk do splits? Yes. He's got that articulation for the motorcycle. He's got the split legs there. So that is awesome. He can also, enter the torque competition, throw it back at the camera. I don't know. I'm very Caucasian. I don't know how to twerk. What's going on, my friend? Action. And Audi. Look at this. Most of my patrons are here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. If you can, like the video, hit that share button. That helps out. Bjorn was kind enough to get me this set for Christmas, and I had actually ordered another set for myself, so I have a follow-up. I'll be using this Alan Grant here to make a Wolverine, a plainclothes Wolverine for my, multiversal storytelling that I've gotten. That female raptor is fantastic. I just wish that they made her feet a little more red to purple, because in the movie, those feet were red and purple. Hammond Collection's a great source of articulated dinosaurs. Little more articulation than I necessarily need, but they're always great to get. The Corysaurus, that one's just a beautiful paint job on there. Really cool. Reminds me of like the Wilds of Sahara figures that you used to be able to get at Target and Walmart ages ago. This nightmare of a toy with that gross neck cracks me up every time, because those things in about 10 years are going to crack and fall apart. Then I've got these space dinos. I've got this set if you're really into like almost ACBA or recreating things. Pick this set up. Steven Spielberg's got his Godzilla shirt on. It's got his director's chair, an actual film camera. They built a Stan Winston studio rig for the Dilophosaurus spitter, and it's got the scene of the Jeep falling over, so you can recreate them filming Nedry, or you could have Steven Spielberg directing scenes in your world, or if maybe you're a huge Godzilla head and you want a buck that's got, just plain clothes you, check it out. It's a little pricier. I got it when it was up on the site, so it wasn't super expensive. It is a 30th anniversary set, but it was also a Comic-Con exclusive. But they made it available on Mattel's website, so pick that up. This is one I missed out on. I'm annoyed. I'm hoping, just like Ray Arnold, they release him later. But Henry Wu, especially since we've got the Bad Batch, we saw those scientists, they're all wearing the white, like, collared up lab coats. His whole outfit is white. He's even got white gloves, 2 different sets, because he's in that clean room. And he comes with a little baby raptor and an egg. Why wouldn't I want that? But yeah, I'd love to get like 4 or 5 of those. Unfortunately, with the price that they are, I'm not getting them. So I'm hoping they re-release them in maybe the Hammond Collection or on a single card. Here's the set that never came out. I don't even want to. It just makes me sad. But there's so much opportunity. Again, another Chris Pratt. You can get these. They're probably still at Ross's and Ollie's, if I'm being honest. These things were everywhere. Pharmacies had them. Grocery stores had them, Walmart, Target. I think there was a kid selling them on my street corner. It was very, very strange, but it comes with the fox that Beta goes after for bait when the poacher snagger. Spoiler alert, Claire. I have Claire. Great head sculpt of Bryce Dallas Howard. And if you have a Bryce Dallas Howard and you have the camera, you could have her directing an episode of Mandalorian on your shelf. Also, this air rifle is very sci-fi, so you can use that. The Dilophosaurus is cool. I've got Alan Grant. I picked up a couple of these because I love that look for him, and it's a kind of a Western thing, which I'm doing the sci-fi Western stuff. But if you just want a cool Alan Grant figure, why not? And also, you get a dinosaur skull to go with your Dimetrodon. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Love this Kayla Watts set. I used Kayla to make V Marati from Galaxy's Edge and all the Star Wars books. I have pictures of her up on my Instagram, so be sure to check that out. And she could just be a generic denizen. She's got the cool leather jacket. She's got leather gloves on, dyed hair, plain pants. Fits right in with the 118 of Star Wars stuff, so you can pick that set up. Daddy Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum. The man smells fantastic. Ask Blood Honey Sin. We met him, and he was just a dream. He was just a dream. Found Chris Pratt at Goodwill. Leave him there. Just put him right back. Just you leave him there. We don't have to deal with him. But yeah, Blood Honey Sin and I met Jeff Goldblum. The man smelled amazing. He was as charming as you could imagine, and just a wonderful human being. Maisie, I never found Maisie. I'm bummed about that because I would have loved to get both of these dinos and just have Maisie. I love her outfit. She could definitely be like a street rat cyberpunker, or like a rebel, somebody in the rebel camps training with just like a swap out a bag, give her a blaster. This Chris Pratt figure, worth it for the trench coat. I've swapped that coat on a couple of things. I put him on Cad Bane, and here actually is the coat. It's a really great detailed coat. It's got the buttons and the overlap, the buckles hanging off, the studs down the back. And I also have it on my Malcolm Reynolds from Firefly. We'll bring him right here. And it makes a good brown coat, trench coat for him. So works on Star Wars figures. That's Andor's body buck. And that's a Spartan 118 head. So really, really like that jacket. It's worth it to get it. And you also get the lasso, because who Space Station and Spaceship doesn't need rope, regular rope. I love that Parasaur Laphis's paint job. I think that's beautiful. Another set. See, here's that motorcycle. That's the dirt bike body. Excuse me. That one doesn't have any type of detail going on it. I think I got that from when it was with Walmart. I didn't get this set in particular, but it also has the emblazoned Jurassic embossment on the side, and he comes with a helmet because you want to make sure he wears a helmet when he rides the bike. I think we all know this set. So many of us have. I think I've got 13 of these goddamn things. These cases here, the Raptor containment unit. I will not take full credit for that. I saw on Diorama Filler, aka Chewie from Yak Face, he was using them as Rebellion blockades, and he had painted them up with military colors and stuff, and just once I saw those and shipping containers popped in my head, and I was off to the races. Terrible figure, crappy articulation, might be a good background character, maybe do an alien head swap, or if you have other arms you want to put on, but those arms are miserable and her stance is terrible. Not their fault as far as that goes. Okay, so this did exist before, but it didn't have Owen's shotgun holster. So this front part of the bicycle, the bicycle, can you tell I've been jabbering for a while? Motorcycle doesn't have his holster for the shotgun because or his Marlin rifle, I should say, because there's none with Dennis. He doesn't need it. So it is a new piece technically. And that is this motorcycle here without these pieces in. So again, it's just a solid black and tan piece of plastic. They went out of their way to put that rad 90s paint job on there. I'm going to leave that. I love that so much. We'll paint like the silver on the cap, on the gas cap. We'll weather in here, but we'll get to that. And I'm just over here rambling, showing you guys there is so much opportunity for Jurassic to be in your sci-fi worlds, even just as people go. And we're not even talking about these weird dinosaurs. Like that thing, you can't tell me that thing wouldn't be an alien on some strange planet. You could absolutely put that on like Felucia with the giant mushrooms and the neon plants. But as far as human beings go, they all scale with the Star Wars stuff in 118, the TBC stuff. You could do head swap with a little bit of work if you wanted to do that, boil and pop. And I mean, there's just all sorts of detail in the figures, accessories, these colossal things. If anybody ever comes across one of them Raptors for super cheap, the Colossal Blue, I'll give you a big old kiss on the mouth. This is a great truck too. Once again, these go down to about $10 or $11. If you're in the military or just want like an Imperial truck, You could use this, certainly, just give it a repaint. Maybe, either take the tires off and put thrusters or keep them on. That always works. I never got this helicopter. I would have loved to have gotten it for a sci-fi thing, but it, again, comes with a human that blends in perfectly to our Star Wars stuff. Here we go. Here's where the buff arms come from, which is the Outpost playset, which they never had on shelves in any of the stores because it takes up too much shelf space. And I think that's why we haven't gotten the Jurassic Park gates. My friend Adam brought up a good point the other night. They should release it with the Hammond collection with Build-A-Figure parts, so you can build the Jurassic Park gates if you buy the entire line. But there's the buff arms. That's just a random security guard from Biosyn that eats it. And then here, you'd get all these sci-fi things too if you bought that set. But I'm going to stop scrolling through dinosaurs. I could talk about these Jurassic toys all day, but that's not what you're here for. This guy's coat is cool too. Get him. He's a bad guy. All right, I'm going to stop, I promise. Any second now. Bam, and knock it off. All right. Yeah, he's already got 2. Zoom into you. I don't know how to zoom. I just drink. I just work here. It's called a fairing. What is called a fairing? The thing on the front of the bike? And yeah, Nedry does not need gun. The front part of the motorcycle. Okay, cool. So that's the fairing. It doesn't have the shotgun holster on this one. And yeah, Nedry does have a pair of guns. Ridiculous. So what do you guys want to start on? Do you want to start on the Raptor? Do you want to start on Dennis Nedry? Do you want to start on the bike? Sound off in the chat. Let me know. Because I think we could do Nedry and the bike at the same time because there's a lot of shared colors. Silver for the buckle, a little browns here and there. But we don't have to do those together. We don't even have to do those today. If you guys just want me to focus on the Raptor, entirely up to you. I will be getting another one of these for my Jurassic collection. But I think I'm just going to really spend some time making this guy look like possibly something that would wander around Gimmick, because why not? Right? Why not? Why not do that? Let's be cool about it. All right. You say Nedry. We got 1 vote for Nedry in the chat. We'll have him doing splits. Let's get him in a sexy pose here. We can tell Famine doesn't know what sexy is. Like, oops. I dropped by shaving cream can. Let me pick that up. Woo. Jason says Thor. Well, since I'm not working on Thor, I don't know what to tell him. Or is he saying like he's Thor from, work? Like, I worked so hard today, I'm really Thor. Nedry got divorced and started keto. We got an either. Oh, God. Yes, this is the set that just came out. This is actually, I think the street date is tomorrow. So do with that information what you will. But, yeah, I saw there were a couple of reviewers that got theirs before the street date as well. I figured rather than do a unboxing and review, a bearded biker. Yeah, you could make a bearded biker. But yeah, I guess we'll start on Nedry. There seems to be a lot of Nedry stuff, and we'll just do this easy, right? So we got his belt buckles. He's got all these parts on him, so we'll use gunmetal. We'll pick out some of those details. Let's see. He's got brown pouches here, and he's got brown boots. So let's find a brown that's in between both of them. Absolutely. You work there. Thank you for helping me. So let's get a good in-between brown. We'll do burnt umber and just use those on there to bring out some details. Of course, we'll have black, matte black, because you always want to have matte black. And then we'll work from there. We'll figure out how we're going to do the washes on his arms to help bring out that. We'll paint whatever's on his wrist. So we'll go ahead and get started here. Let me get a sip of my beverage. Tonight is, again, grapefruit seltzer. Not sponsored. I mean, technically, my patrons help, pay the bills. So in theory, you guys bought those for me. So appreciate you guys very, very much. And also, we'll actually make some of this a little bit easier, right? We're going to go so damn easy. We'll use the silver paint pen. And we'll use the Poxa black paint pen. Just for some easy, like this can be the bare bones. I don't want to do anything else, but I just want to make a couple of things pop on this figure because I'm new at customizing and I want to try it. So we'll take this silver here. Sorry for smacking the camera. And he's got these like parachute hooks, D-rings that are on there. So starting on the exposed part of the D-ring, you just take your silver paint pen and you go over that. You can get a little on the side there, but it's just something so simple. Makes it stand out that there's detail there. We'll do it on this side too. Go ahead. And you don't even have to be super careful. You just got to get it on there. Use the raised part to your advantage. So we got those two buckles done, right? And that's already looking like there's a little more effort put into this thing, right? Now there seems to be a metal clip right here, and it is raised. So again, we'll just take this pen, walk it across the clip. There it is. Things are starting to pop. Let's turn them over. Oh, look, there's two more D-ring buckles. So we can go ahead and hit that. Oh, I went a little bit over. That's okay. We can fix that. That's an easy fix. And you fix that with just a toothpick when that paint's dry. And I see these side buckles here. I don't know if they're buckles or clips, but we'll leave those. I don't think they need to be silvered up. But here we go. He's got little square / rectangle clips on this. Could do Marty McFly with that puffer jacket that you could pop off of the figure from Darren. I think it's Darren from Camp Cretaceous. If you pop that yellow puffer vest off and painted it orange, the torso of the coat, you could certainly use that on a Marty. Marty, we gotta go back to the future, Marty. Your kids get married. Well, that's great, Doc. What's wrong with that? They married interracially. Yeah, actually, we're really cool with that. That's not a big thing. Oh, all right then. Robot chicken killed me. Absolutely killed me. So that's as far as we need to do any metal on the Nedry figure, I think. The watch is fine. Not going to mess with that. Hit that a little bit more. But if you want it to stop, this does appear to be some type of metal thing, and if it's not, it is now. And there's recesses there, so when we do a wash, hopefully they sink right in there. But I think that's pretty cool. Now we've got character in that. I can do Rick. Jesus, Morty. It's not a great Rick, but it's a pretty good Rick Sanchez. But my Morty is atrocious, so I'll spare it. So we'll set that silver pen aside, but that's just like straight up the easiest things I think you can do aside from a wash. And then we've got this Poxa black paint pen here. So let's look. We don't know what this is, this weird section here on the vest. So let's to hell with it. We'll pretend this is like a name tape or something. Just paint it black. Treat it like a red door. You know, you see a girl walk by in her summer clothes, close your eyes until the darkness goes because you want to paint it black. But there's that. And here's what we'll do is we'll use those sides, those little side pieces. Not your side piece. I don't think you're allowed to paint people. And painting somebody black with a paint pen is very problematic. In and on its own, it's a whole thing. You just don't. And put this here. And we'll go a little further. We're going to leave those on their own. But you see, I don't know how well. Oh, fucking thanks, Red. What's going on, Tuna? Glad you can make it. Thank you for being here, my friend. And I appreciate that. So there are dots for belt loops. And I'm a glutton for punishment. So I'm just going to hit those dots. Adds a little bit of shadow, which I'm sure will be picked up with the wash. But in the meantime, getting that in there. It's just a little bit of extra detail. And how you can even go back in, push the paint into the holes, give it a good wipe while it's still wet. That's in there. If you wanted to do the laces of his boots, make them exciting. Nice. Yeah, Jason, who's watching now, is my side piece. He's not watching. He's in the background, I'm sure, listening, but now he's going to be saying 50 cents, trying to charge me for mentioning his name. So we've got the soles of his boots. Let's go ahead and, what do you say? We want to make the soles of his boots black or leave them as brown as they are? Yes, sir. Yep, it is. I do have another figure from the line behind me. I'll grab it in a couple of moments and bring it down. $8. Yeah, no, he could fall down. He could fall down. Black sole. Oh, you mean like the soles of the boots? Okay. I thought you were just like black sole, and I was like, fuck yeah, black sole. All right, and these are so clearly defined by raised portions of the boots, so you don't even have to worry. You know, you just let the marker do the walking. Let it do the work for you. And again, we can always fix it. We can always go in with a toothpick and just scrape away the paint we don't want. That's one of my favorite things about acrylics on action figures. And at the end of this, when I'm all done, giving him his upgrade, probably when we're off air, because I don't think I want to spray this tonight because it is a little bit damp out. But we'll seal this whole figure up with some matte sealant just to protect it. But see, now he's got his boots. Are we doing that tomorrow? Is that what's going on? I would do the bottom of the feet. I think if I do, it will just chip even sealed. So maybe I'll do that with actual paint. I don't know. I think it actually looks kind of cool, like hiking boots. We'll see. It's my figure. I'll do what I want. You don't know me. And yeah, using a paint marker is one of the easiest and most beginner-friendly tools, I think. I wish I had these damn things when I was younger, because I wanted to learn how to do graffiti on my grandfather's train cars in small scale. I had done it with an airbrush to start, so I always used an airbrush when I had access to it before we lost it. when I was a kid, and I'd use that to graffiti. But man, if I had these paint pens, it would have been all over. Would have been way easier. And don't get me wrong, I don't know how to write graffiti like a true graffiti artist, but I'm very good at copying graffiti, I would like to think. And already, it's like night and day. You knew that. You said it on Wednesday. Okay. I just work here. Any chance we're doing it Sunday? So let's see. Let's do the boots and the pouches, and then we'll do the wash, which I will need. I mean, my advice to you that you didn't ask for is to start big and get smaller, get progressively smaller as you go. That's essentially what I had to do, because if I just sat there and tried to practice at 118, I find that like frustratingly small, even though it's 118 scale, so it's bigger. But like I, do 112 and then, shrank. So we'll do a little bit of dry brushing here. Where's my handy dandy paint palette? It's holding toys right now. Whatever are we to do? What are we going to do, guys? What are we going to do here? Tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to grab the back of this this ridiculous Star Wars 5 POA figure. We're going to use that as a palette. Somewhere, a completist who doesn't like to see people do things like this to a package is going to scream right now. I hope he wakes up in a sweat. And so for right now, we're going to be using the burnt umber from Vallejo. Give it a good shake. All right. And we're going to be doing a dry brush. So grab your favorite or least favorite dry brush. I think we'll do my least favorite dry brush. It's like my least favorite child, but we'll take him out for a spin anyway. Public starts to ask why we don't bring him places. People will say, what are you, Chris Pratt? You see, that was a callback. Hope it transfers. Yeah, I hope it transfers too, and if it does, please teach me. Share your skills. Actually thinking this is very close to true color for those boots, which surprises me. No, it's a little different. I'm seeing it. I don't know if you guys are seeing it. Just give them a quick dry brush. If anything, it'll help with the colorway when it stands out after the washes. And like while we've got the brown out, right? We'll do the pouches. So again, these pouches are a very different color, so I'm curious to see how this little dry brushing bit is gonna transfer. Vallejo! And I'm just giving it quick, like I said, a quick dry brush. Just adding it. It almost looks like it's a little dirty, which is fine. Like that's tremendous. We'll even get back in here. Okay, that's been taken care of. And then that could be the brown on that, right? I think, again, it's just little differences, but it's making the figure seem like it's got more value. And then this guy, I just want to make the tires have some brown on them. So while we've got it out, why not? Just get it on the tire. give a little bit of contrast or detailing, highlighting. That's the word I'm looking for, highlighting. And the dry brush makes the treads on the tires pop without being abhorrently, apparent that we've done something to it. We're just take a little bit of paint, a little bit of brown paint, hitting the high points on the tires so they actually look like they've been used in some place that's, jungly enough to have mud on its tires in the treads. And I'll show you a couple of tricks later where we'll get some cool mud spatter that'll be a little bit of different color. So it'll really offset the difference in colors, and it's just adding layering to what we already can see with our eye. So there's our tires, get painted with the brown, dry brush with the brown, and then here's the plain black shiny tire. A little bit on the spokes. I'm going to get the spokes, but again, we're going to do a different method for that. I'm going to do the kind of like the toothbrush splatter method. I have no idea how these 5-point of articulation figures are. The only reason I picked him up is, number one, he's $5. Björk, Jesus Christ. Bjorn saw them in stores. He alerted us to them, and then Bert started picking them up, and Bert loves his 5 POA. So I figured to support my homie, to support the line, because maybe, just maybe, they'll give us some aliens in this line, and we'll get some good heads that we can do figure swaps. I'll pick him up. So I picked up the $5 Mandalorian from the line. I will probably chop up his extremities and all of his accessories and give them to other figures with actual articulation. But to show my support of the line, to show my support to Bert, who's a big advocate for 5 POA. I don't know why. I think he fell on his head when he was little. But I supported him. And, that's the question. Who's more foolish, the fool or the man who he supports? I think that's the expression. Who's more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows him? Okay. So we got a couple of just brown on the tires. That's just something I wanted to do. All right, so we've done this. We've done the couple of colorways. Now we can go. We'll ask the chat here, because we're kind of having fun with this, just doing it. Should I go a couple of steps further and we'll paint the undershirt that he's got on, maybe with a wash or something, to make it a different color than the vest? Or should we leave it and just do a wash on it? We'll leave that up to the audience. I wouldn't mind the Stormtroopers, getting a couple of Stormtroopers, but they're, $8 or $9 for the Stormtrooper. And I'm sorry, but I not for a one that doesn't pose when I could wait on Amazon, and Amazon can go to $9 for a full-sized, fully articulated figure. Hey, drop my phone. Pardon me. Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me. Okay, pardon me. Thank you. That was wild. Okay. So yeah, let's while we're waiting on this vote, somebody's saying change the shirt, army green, throw a touch of color on the shirt. Well then, you're in luck, because you could have all the 5-point of articulation Stormtroopers. I love their helmets though. So I guess here's the figure. Darksaber. Comes with his blaster, but it's silver. All silver, no paint on the handles. I'm not even showing the camera. So we got the Darksaber. We got his blaster. No paint on the handle, no different colors, no washes or anything. Very simple, very basic. Oh God, it's so loud. So sorry. So we got Mando's cape that falls off instantaneously. That's a strike against it. Covering a hole. I guess these are like connect and play figures. Do his arms. Oh my God. Oh, I thought his arms pop. Are they supposed to pop out? I don't think they are. Oh, well. Nice sculpting. I'll give him that. There's good sculpting on the transition from the flight suit to the undersuit. 2 different textures, 2 different layers. Shoulder pauldrons. Yeah, pieces are supposed to pour onto these guys from other figures in the line. The legs are as stiff as a board. You can't use the holster. Does have his signet on there. That's cool. And then apparently at some point the helmet comes off. There we go. So the helmet's off, and we got our sweet Mandalorian bucket that can be used for something else. That's sculpted on. So as I said, I'll probably chop and use his armor pieces, use the Dremel, trim them out. Maybe cast a couple of these off of there and pour my own. Good sculpt on the boots and everything, but again, the articulation. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You got your cloak. That can stay on there and come off. You get the Darksaber and the blaster. So out of this, I'll get $10 worth. Don't get me wrong. Capes, can throw on a random denizen, but I can't use the chest piece, right? Because that's covered. So that counts against it. I need to hide Ant's comments so that people can see what I'm doing. But that's sculpted on there, so I can't even pop that out of the way to cash the chest. So that's out. But I'll be able to Dremel out those shoulder pauldrons, cast those, probably cut these off here, reuse these gauntlets if I Dremel them out and open them up to slide onto another figure. Maybe the hand plates if I'm careful, and chop these out and maybe cast them to have thigh armor for different Mandalorians in the other line. So there you go. You guys got a mini review of a figure for $5. You get what you pay for $5. $1 per point of articulation, I guess, on that. All right. Do stuff to seal the impression. I will have to talk more about that because my brain is just not comprehending what you just said in English. I saw olive green or olive gray. So since I have olive gray right here, we'll do olive gray. So green on the tubes, earth tone, it'll help with the boots. All right, we'll do that. So let me grab a detail brush. This is my Army Painter Wargame character brush. I use this damn thing for a lot of detail work. If you are new to the channel, thank you so much for watching this. Jurassic is not something I normally cover on here, although it is my big passion. So if you ever want to talk Jurassic Park, hit me up. But I am quasi known for my space dinosaurs, which I mostly use Jurassic Park or knockoffs from Jurassic Park. And also I use Jurassic Park humans in my project. So yeah, check it out. Stick around, hit the like button, and subscribe if you'd like. Do this stuff every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Although I likely will not be streaming this Tuesday. We'll have an update a little bit closer. Just as a heads up to you guys, Mondays are World Makers Consortium. Not our World Makers Consortium Day, our Toy Squad Day. And we stream at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesdays, I usually go on at 9. Then we've got Lord of Thane and Pirates. They've got their show Whip Wednesdays. That is on 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursdays, Toy Domination, where Joe and Dom talk toys. They're doing their big push for the Road to Joe Fest. You guys can check them out 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays. They have fun there. We have fun with them. All right, so we're going to just go in here, call the rest of that part of the vest. And yep, green was the right call, you guys. Good call. Because that's going to pop. It's going to help the boots. I don't think Nedry knows fashion, but we're going to make him know fashion. Seal the impression. Okay, I kept reading seal the impression. I get you. Press and then push green stuff into the mold. Got it. Or put green stuff on the figure and then press it on there. Either way, I'm there with you. And you can blow up my DMs anytime. That means two things, if you're nasty. Cool. And his arm, for those playing at home, his arm really doesn't touch the rim of the sweater, no matter which way it's facing, so you should be able to put that on there and then seal it and not worry about figure rub. We'll know in a little bit, but that is very good to know. And we're going to change the tunes a little bit. Feeling like we need to hear some Grasshopper. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that impression. Why would you suggest that? I'm going to go buy one of those electric buzzers. And then every time I drift the figure that I'm painting off camera, one of you guys can push a button and it'll zap me. Now you want that figure. Oh, this Nedry figure here? Well, I'll keep my eye out. I'm gonna say it'll clearance damn near sure. So let me know if you want me to wait for clearance or if you want to pay the more fuller price. Or we have other ways of making you talk. Lebowski. I don't know. I've never seen that movie. Okay. I could get some, so the street date for this figure is tomorrow. Yes. Street date is tomorrow. If I see it on clearance, I'm picking it up for you. You can't fight me on this. It's Jurassic. I'm allowed to do that because I'm a bully of a friend. Want to get a couple of spots here. And for those who are playing along at home and you have seen my my Instagram story, Mr. Peanut, I call him Mr. Peanut, not like the character Mr. Peanut, but Peanut is he's in the other room sleeping. He's had his dinner and his medicine, and he's snoozing on the highest point in the room, looking out the window, overseeing his kingdom. So what up, Dead Man? I showed off that dinosaur that you talked about during World Makers Consortium. So the Indoraptor. What? Hell yeah, man. And thank you for coming in. Okay. And Brett, you asked about the street date. If I said Peanut, sometimes I call him Mr. Peanut because he's being a polite and kind gentleman. Mr. Peanut. And then he screams in my face. It's great. I love him. And there's a couple of spots. I got a wayward... Speaking of Peanut, I've got a wayward cat hair on this brush. And rather than stop and fix it, which I should, about Sir Peanut, I could do Sir Peanut. We'll have to ask him. He is the new... As I was saying, he's the new Minister of Productivity here at Famine Studios. He made his rounds throughout the room, He checked everything out a couple of times. He made his visit through Gimmick. He's the first living being to ever throw up in Gimmick Starport. It was his very first day. He didn't know any better. He didn't know any better than to climb up in the into Gimmick. He got up there, and I didn't want to spook him too badly. So as I was trying to get him out and coax him out, he wandered out, and I was like, "Okay, great." And then he just fucking ralphed because he was amazed. He was blown away by how cool Gimmick Starport is. Like, cats have never seen such a thing, never seen such a majesty. But it was very funny. Cleaned up real easy. I'm not mad about it. Poor guy's had a life, and now he gets to hang out. He gets to visit, and he goes and screams at my grandmother, which is the funniest thing in the world to me. And Snowflake is a big scaredy cat about him. All right, so there's his underarm area. Next, I'm going to do up here around his neck by his collar. So that'll really make that armor stand, or not armor. Well, I guess it is kind of armor, but this orange vest that he's got on really stand out. If somebody were a little more clever than me, something you could do for your Cyberpunk and Star Wars-y world with this figure is you could probably get some caution striping for the pouch and some water slide caution striping for the back or something like that. Put a couple of tools on this guy and maybe a cool helmet, and you could make him like an inspector or somebody that works on a shipyard. Keep the shirt orange so he's just all over safety orange. I think that'd be a dope move. Probably will wind up doing that with a couple of these, now that I say it out loud. And on the topic of Peanut, I go in there this morning. I was actually up before him, and he could for certain run Cyberpunk. Yeah, I'm not popping the head because I'm not terribly worried about it. I kind of want to do some after pictures without a head swap first before I do that. Just making him a little bit better. In my eyes for this application, but you could certainly, it absolutely looks like a tack vest, but it could easily be like a safety vest too. Or like somebody that works in the shipyard, maybe give him a utility belt and he's got, a harness on instead. But yeah, there's so much. When Zilla and I were chatting about this, I think during the live show, maybe it was before or after, maybe it was during, I don't know. I just work here. And he said how this was pure nostalgia to him, and he would leave it plain. And I could certainly see the attraction either way. But I'm glad that we did the color to his shirt here, really making the detail on this pop, so somebody could see. If you're a customizer, you may pass up Jurassic stuff a couple of times because you didn't think that. Oh my God! If I could get a U.S. Postal heavyset U.S. postman, I'd have Newman. Hello, Jerry. Hello, Newman. He has glasses on, and they're really good glasses. They are better than the ones that came on the Barbasol can kit from San Diego Comic-Con, which I have. Better than the ones that are with his Jeep and the Dilophosaurus, and better than the ones on the Hammond collection. I don't know how to customer love. You've been promoted to customer love, Jason. He doesn't know where he is right now. He has glasses on, but like I said, and they're really good glasses. These are probably, as I said, the best glasses that they've done on any of the Hammond collection figures. That includes Goldblum, That includes Ray Arnold. That includes John Hammond. Like, these are really good glasses, really well done at that scale. So there we go. We'll do one more quick, get the rest of the paint off our brush coating of these. How did he get away with dating a high schooler when he's 38? Because he was Jerry Seinfeld. And she was 18. I think that's one of those bizarre things for me. It's like I know they dated. I didn't hear any accusations about anything else otherwise, or any inappropriate things other than everybody getting skeeved by the idea that she was 18 and he was in his 30s. I don't know. I'm not in the situation. I wasn't there. It's not my body or anything like that. If she's 18 and she wants to be in a relationship with an adult, she can be, as far as that goes. And that was ancient time ago. Now, isn't he not, it excuses whatever preconceived notion people have is appropriate, but also I feel like he's married to someone very close to his own age now. And as I'm here saying, oh, let's do the last coat, we'll just get the paint off of it, as I'm actually just giving it a second full coat of paint. Sister with a guy 20 years older, very happily married. Nice. Congrats to the sister. 20 years is... Oh, duh. Well, yes, also 20. Congratulations to your sister. But, you get what I'm trying to say. I was thinking that they were married for 20 years. For whatever reason, my brain was like, wow, what an accomplishment. Weird at first, but she's happy. Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine beyond intimate stuff I'd have much to, think either way. It's just if somebody wants to date somebody that age and they're of legal consenting age, it's not my body. It's not my choice. It's not my say who they run with. And all I can do is, if they ask for support, to be supportive. All right. So now he's got that going on, which definitely makes that vest pop. Focus up. That sounds like an insult. Like, in your DMs, Fat Red. Oh, God. That's good. That's the good stuff right there, boys. Love that that's where my brain immediately went. Oh, thank you. And let's do that toothpick trick. If not 1,000%. Oh, I hear 1,000. Do I hear 5,000? Can I hear 5,000? What's his real name on YouTube? No, it's just my brain read it as like, in your DMs, Fat Red. Like, you're like, fat man. Like, you're making fun. You get what I'm trying to say. I just work here. Again, remember this. So let's get this out of here, because people are going to be reading that. They're going to be like, wow, fascinating, Star Wars. But we've got this. There's a little bit of overpaint on there. So I just take a toothpick, give it a quick scritch, and then on the inside I got a little happy with the pen. So I'm just using a toothpick, get in there, Clean that out. And then it's all going to be hidden in the wash. Anything that remains. And I think we'll go over these buckles, these clips one more time. One more again. And it's out there. It's out there somewhere in the city. His name. We've got to find it before it's too late. Cool. These ones on the front, although they look pretty damn spectacular. Okay. All right, so let's do a bit of a wash on this body. Get this on here first. I think I do think before we do a wash on the body, I want to give this a coat of Mod Podge. I know Ant personally, and he actually does. He keeps his face in a jar and doesn't let it out. Every once in a while, he opens up the lid where his face is in the jar and throws in food and then closes it. But he won't let that sucker out. Do I want a Mod Podge first? Yes, you do, Famine. Don't skip. There's no need to skip the step. The only reason I'm doing this is because when we do the wash, I don't want it to take off any of the paint marker. I'm actually unfamiliar with how rugged that stuff is on these types of things. So that's gross. Look at that. Ugh. Looks like something I coughed up on Saturday night after working at the truck stop for a 24-hour shift. Hi-yo! Cash register job gets messy there. Okay. I've just got a clean brush. I wet it a little bit. A little bit of Mod Podge. We'll start on the back. Getting it on the paint on everything that we did, and also on the orange, just as a protectant, so that when we put the wash on, it doesn't necessarily funny with the other paints that are there, but also doesn't doesn't react differently against both of those things, where it's noticeable and someone might be able to point that out, which we don't really care about that here in Famine Studios. But also, I like my stuff to look with a monicum of professionalism, just a little bit. So I want it to look a little bit professional. Digression. Sorry for hitting the camera. I'm learning this thing. I'm getting there. I think my next project is going to be, it'll be a while still before I'm able to build a table, but I think I can using my chop saw and my spare lumber, I think I could build some stabilizers for this table so that it does not wobble as much when I whack it with my big, giant, strong paws, my very manly hands that are just so powerful that I whack the table. Also, my enormous thighs, powerful haunches. They smack the table too. Oh, Nedry's got a little white stuff on your arm there, Dennis. But I should be able to shore up this table so we have a lot less shaking. And then I just need to remember to behave as though there actually is a thing here. I thought so too. I thought that figure is pretty damn well close to looking like you, but it doesn't have the tattoo of Sereno across the neck, so I don't know. And I guess we'll give his boots with the fur some Mod Podge too. Powerful whacking hands. Hey, come after Tuesday nights. There's an office in the back. We can work something out. Okay, so we'll just let that dry for a few more seconds. It's already nicely hazed over. It's already drying up there. And then in the back is just where it's taking its sweet time. So I'm going to go ahead and spread out this little bit that it seems I missed here. Over there. Just let that dry up. Here we go. See, sometimes you got to think. Ha! That's hilarious. Okay. Does the avatar? No, your avatar doesn't have to look like you. It could look like whatever you want. A lot of people just tend to do the avatar that looks like them because they want actual them in their sci-fi outfit or whatever in their world. Going with the assless chaps. Well, by their nature, all chaps are assless. So I don't know why we always specify. I think it's the sexiness that people try and bestow on chaps. I really don't think they need it. So before we get on the wash here, let's keep making most of our time, because I don't want you guys to feel like I'm wasting your time here with this. I want you to be entertained and have fun, hang out, shoot the shit. Let's do some dry brushing with the, let's see. We want to do some dry brushing with the silver. And we're not going to use the silver pen. Alien species, monster, cyborg, whatever feels like you get. Whatever feels like it gets you. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. I am struggling with the words tonight. Let's do shining silver to really make those pieces pop. Hey, dude, thank you. It's always nice to hear the kind words, and yeah, it's just, I don't know. I tend to see stuff in things, in objects and items, and I try and put them best to work as I can, and I like sharing that with people. I thought I'd like to do this, so put that information out there when people ask. I tend to not gatekeep because I just don't. I don't think it's mine to keep. Avatar yet. Femme Avatar is Tuna, Sassy Blue Twi'lek. Nice. And your mask is Huckleberry Toad. Your thumbnail there. So the thumbnail of the toad inside of the astronaut cosmonaut helmet. And here's the dry brushing. Like I said, there's so much freaking detail here. And it's just underutilized. There's nothing picks it up. So doing this bit of dry brushing is seriously going to help that. And like, look at the damn difference. So you can see everything. You can see the details. It might not be light enough in here. But there we go. We'll even get the underneath. Why the frick not? So we'll get a little more silver paint on here. Because I dried the brush out. Hell yeah, do you. Live the dream. I want nothing more in this fucking world than for people to be happy with who they are and get to be happy with who they are and be who they want to be and not have to worry about what some asshole somewhere says. Closer we get there, the sooner we get there, the happier I'll be, and hopefully the happier everybody will be. If anybody ever gives you any shit for that, I'm sure you've already got it handled, but if not, send them my fucking way. Tuna was your actual character from Star Wars Galaxies. Nice. I love when people like build lore for their OC characters in games. My pro wrestling, my online and video game pro wrestling character's name is actually the name of a character in one of my books. I needed a name. I made a professional wrestler called Arkin Red, and his finisher is the Arkansas, which for obvious reasons is the best name for a finisher. So you can see that silver that pops there, that's the gunmetal silver. We can go over it with some brighter silver, but like take a look at the other side, not dry brushed. Way different. And that's cool. You're Red, you're working on an avatar of your lady. Tuna, shoot me one of those screenshots if you don't mind. I'd love to see it. And I can't wait for, speaking of games, if you guys don't mind if I ramble about Star Wars for a minute, that new Bounty Hunters or Galactic Bounty or whatever game that's coming out, that looks so freaking fun. So freaking fun. Like the Jedi, the droid-headed Jedi, the random bounty hunter, Mandalorian bounty hunter that's only got one piece of armor on, armor and helmet, chest piece and helmet, and that's about it. And that's fucking sick. Like that's one of the reasons I like Outer Multiverse's Rando Mando that he's got, as he calls it, is because it looks just like a random, maybe lower level Mandalorian. Hasn't gotten his armor pieces issued to him yet. Maybe he didn't inherit a starter set of armor or had to sell his Beskar. I don't know. The stories kind of like come to me and, start writing themselves out. But I think that's really neat. All kinds of characters there. And it doesn't look like they're all existing characters either. It looks like they were created for the game. Yes! That's going to be a number one favorite. Two Jawas in a trench coat. Yeah, the Arkansas. Yep, Arcan. Couple cousins of corns and probably a couple of ears of corn too. And yeah, the two Jawas in a trench coat are going to be like a favorite. I was telling my grandmother about that because she asked me why I was laughing when I saw the trailer. And I said, hey, Graham, you remember in Star Wars, the little brown guys in the jackets, the Jawas? And she's like, no. I'm like, they came with the robots in the very beginning. And she's like, oh, yeah. I don't think she remembered, but bless her, she tried. So I showed her the two in the coat, and she started cracking up. I was like, Graham, laughing at the Star Wars thing. Okay, so I'm also going to get, again, look at that dry brushing compared to that black shiny plastic. That's actually going to become a gas can. I'm going to paint that red maybe, or that green. That's all right. I don't mind. That's why I made you an admin. If you need to fix your stuff, you're more than welcome to. That's just a bonus. But let's get the inside here. Give that a heavy dry brush around the brakes. I'll get most of the handlebars on the inside and on the visible outside. Then, like, already my headcanon for in Jurassic Park. This is just the Jurassic Park kind of stuff, not, whatever I put this in gimmick if I do. But this version of Nedry, perhaps he did survive, and because he was starving, he had to be choicey, and so he's lost a lot of weight, looking good. But in his headcanon, like he takes care of this bike, kind of like didn't take care of his workstation, so now he feels compelled to really put in his time on taking care of his motorcycle, and it's the only thing that gets him around. I also think this is a two fuel bike. It can be filled up with propane by the island's natural gas, and maybe also solar or something. But he takes care of it. He treats it really well, takes good care of it, keeps the metal as free of rust as you can on a tropical jungle with a island atmosphere with volcanoes and shit. That's just my little silly headcanon for that. So now we've got some detail on the wheels, scribing some lines in the fairing to add some texture. I'm just trying to do paint and washes right now. Stuff a bead in there. Sir, that was for our private conversation. That was for our private conversation. And yes, I will push another bead in. Scribbling some lines and fairing. Yeah, so I would, but I think I'm just going to do it via dry brushing to, make it more accessible to folks. But certainly, if anybody on their own, you would definitely want to, scratch that up. Maybe it's driving through brush. Raptors get it, but we're going to weather this so that it looks like it's lived in a jungle environment. Right now, I'm just kind of taking care of the key blocking stuff to let people know, again, how easy this is, how fun you can make it. It doesn't need to be too complicated, too complex. You can make it as complex as you want, or as less. Hey, thanks so much. Hey, hit the share button and copy the little link. I don't know why, but it helps. According to the internet, according to all the analytics and teachers and stuff that I watch on how to get ahead in YouTube, and a lot of the stuff has worked, but yeah, that's one of them. Apparently YouTube really favors that feature now. Okay. All right. So we've done base dry brushing, and what were you saying about stick a bead in it? That is freaking awesome. Go enjoy that. That sounds amazing. Please next week fill us in on how good that was. Enjoy your night. Thank you for popping in. Hit the like on the way if you haven't already. I appreciate it. That's so freaking cool. All right, so let's get the other silver out. We just used shining silver, and we'll do rough iron on the engine block, I'm assuming is what that is. I just work here. I don't know motorcycle parts. Cheers. Have a great night. call that rough iron. I don't know if it's supposed to say wrought iron. I actually realized I don't know how to spell wrought iron. But take some of this rough iron, dry brush, get a lot of it off the brush. And we'll come in here and just almost like a little greasy engine. I think that's good. Perfect. Just a little teeny tiny detail just for me. Just that was there to make me happy. Okay. Oh yeah, we gotta get that guy. So there we go. I think that looked like it was metallic. The headlamp cover. Cool. Red, have a great night. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being a patron. And speaking of Patreon, you're saying to yourself, Famid, you've really been talking about this. You're very thankful they provided you with this sweet webcam right here. Your patrons help pay for the streaming services and whatnot. Where can I go? Well, I'm glad you asked. There's a link right there in the box below and right there scrolling across the screen. It's Famine Studios 262. I don't know why Patreon gave me that marker, but that's what we have. But I just wanted to, again, thank my patrons and go over there, check it out. There's also a free tier. You can sign up. That helps out too. And it's a great way to keep track in case, we have these weird Instagram and YouTube outages now. So great way to keep up. And sometimes I post stuff there out in the open for free, like some kind of maniac. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. You headed out too, Tuna? I will pass the love along to Peanut. All right, so let's do... Yeah, let's get the silver. That's one thing I should have done. We'll do gunmetal for this piece. Oh, you were saying goodnight to the chums. All right, so let's use gunmetal. Just put it on the silver here. And you're right. Terminators that play in an orchestra are terrifying. I know you didn't say that, but you were thinking it. You were thinking it. Nobody's trying to get rid of you. Have fun with them puppers. All right. So I put way too much of that gunmetal on there, but whatever. Whatever. I'll do what I want. We're just using the nice paint here. Silver paint on the gas cap. I don't know why I think this thing runs on the geothermal. Or maybe he fills a tank, puts it in there, but the stupid fat thing is I've made a scratch on the gas tank. I'm old Greg. You ever drank Bailey's from a shoe? It's creamy. Do you want to go to a club where people we own each other? Okay. And tonight I sleep once in a while. No, this isn't late for me, especially on a Friday night. This is energizing for me when I get to hang out with my friends and paint stuff or talk about toys or, do whatever. I guess I'll fill you guys in. I got some medical stuff coming up next week, so I likely will not be streaming Tuesday. It does look like we're taking a break from World Makers Consortium on Friday. I will let Rad double confirm that with a post, so don't go canceling your plans just yet. But it looks like we may be just taking a break because I know he's got band stuff to do, and we want to make sure that our guests are lined up, so giving them a little bit of time, a little bit of extra time, but we'll see. But anyway, having some medical stuff done on Thursday, so I will be out probably Tuesday night just to be safe, so I try and get my body to like slow down and rest when I need it to before. And then probably it'll actually be like my first break from hands-on crafting unless I'm good to go. They told me I'd have to be careful. Take it easy the first couple of days, and then don't go chasing waterfalls. Just stick to the rivers and the lakes that I'm used to, which I thought that was oddly specific and a reference to a time period that I enjoy musically. Well, that's what they said. So again, we've just improved that by, painting the gas cap, hitting a couple of those hoses and lines in there. Thanks, Triple D. Garth Menageries Dark Place. I don't think so. But hopefully all is well with the medical stuff. And once that's all taken care of and said and done, I won't have to give a shit about that stuff. Let's see here. All right, so there are a couple of wires here. So I'm just going to do the red the marker trick that we did. Except we're doing it with a red. And it's now a red wire. And that's that. What it's for and what it runs to, no freaking clue. When I go to the thinking about bringing a vibrating butt plug to really make it interesting. Except I won't tell anybody in the room, and I'll just give the number to a random passerby, and every time they text saying, "Who's this? Who's this?" Just absolutely make surgery unbearable for everyone. I am the worst. I don't even know where the fuck that came from. Okay, so let's do this gas tank now. It's going to be red, so I guess we'll start with a coat of vampire red. Only 19 in a wheelchair. I do have to be careful. Absolutely. Mighty Bosch Crew doing weird spooky soap opera parody thing. Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen that. But yeah, no, I have to take care of myself for a litany of like, okay, you're a human being. These are the things you're supposed to take care of yourself for. But then there are other things that are important to me, like my family, my grandmother, my girlfriend, these pets. Like, I guess I should take care of myself for them, and I truly should. So want to make sure that I don't end up in the same straits that some of my family members have wound up in, and hopefully all will be well for old famine. But I'm excited because I haven't been under sedation in, since I was a wee child. So excited for that. I haven't been knocked out and had strangers inside of me since I was a child. Worst. I keep bringing stuff up close to my face to paint it, not realizing that y'all can't see me doing that. Jesus Christ. Camera is about a couple of seconds of a delay behind for me. So I do an action and then I have to see it take place, and also my screen is mirrored. So I really don't know which way I'm going a lot of the time. So that's why you just saw me do that foolish thing. I will walk myself out in the yard and take a shit right in it. Maybe not my own yard. Somebody's yard. I also like how sly and casual you were in the show tonight. Just dropping, oh, that's my stack of fucking Mandalorian ships. Jesus Christ. Razor Crest. Oh, that's just my Razor Crest stack. Got some red on there where I didn't want it. Is what it is. Let that first coat of red dry. And then we'll do a different coat over top of it of a different red. So we'll jump from red that we had to red from Vallejo. You can mail me a couple of the Razor Crests, to make up for it. All right. Filter, not sponsored. Spill on the table. Still not sponsored. He's got the human centipede of Razor Crests in the back of his shot. Excuse me. Okay. So, all right, we'll finish up the bike, and then we're definitely gonna jump to the dinosaur. Wear down my pants, sir. This is America. I wear down my pants the old-fashioned way. Good old-fashioned American water. Sourced directly from Flint, Michigan, our good old-fashioned American water is the thing that you want. Pure American ingenuity. Let's get the other red on here. This one's a much brighter, much more wet red because it's airbrush paint. I like it. I like how it flows. Good for what we use it for. Water down my paints. No, I've done that before, though. I get it. Also, that whole, water down your pants thing was a gag. I wouldn't care if you said that. I think it's hilarious. Okay, so now we got a kind of red gas tank, and then after it gets washed, it'll look nice and old. All right, so put that there. I think our last step's going to be a black wash on that bad boy. So let's make this dinosaur look a little damn cooler, right? That's what you guys are here for. That's what everybody really wants to see. Yeah, I mean that Fifi that was made prison style, but with cardboard instead of sponges, immaculate. So that is on here is a dark brown, almost like a glossy brown. I'm thinking we get a little bit of a dark brown. Yeah, we'll do a dark brown. Maybe that burnt umber that we did earlier. I don't think saddle brown's the one we want. I think we want burnt umber. Okay. So I've got a little burnt umber on the palette. And then we're going to rule of cool this shit. So, what's rule of cool, you ask? Well, basically, rule of cool is this. We're using the existing design that's there. And we're just going to make it a little bit cooler. We're going to take it a little bit further. Here, I'm just going to add this similar brown. It's going to help combine what we're going to be doing on this next. I'm not going all the way to the edge, as you can see, of these. I want it to kind of be something that you know is there, but you've got to look close to see it. So... but it doesn't look horribly different. It's just adding another layer. Convert a bookcase. You're going to make a modular cardboard set. So is Tuna, is everything going to be cardboard, or are you using those as placeholders? Like, talk us through your process. Because I have seen the stuff you've done, and I'm also like kind of smitten with that, but also like I need a little more permanency than cardboard with my stuff. And this is what I mean here, guys, when I say, you go off the pattern, the cool, and just kind of like let it give you, let it inspire you. I'm adding some extra spots to what was there just to make it, a little more wild, a little more different and outside of the pattern. It's still cool. We can do that here as well. So now it's like it's got a little flecked pattern almost. But it's still pulling those other colors from the top down. I learned that in art school. Okay, so you're going to use wooden skeleton to be the station and block off certain shapes that'll house cardboard interiors that can be swapped out. Oh, that's clever. I have a couple of ideas for a little, it was supposed to be a flower thing for bees, but I guess there's been a big backlash on that product. It was something from Target because it's not, the thing is too big, so it's just going to be basically trash. But I'm using it for a food stall, but I want to make like swappable ones, so I've got a couple of ideas like that. I just never thought of like something that would slot in and out into the skeleton. I was thinking of like, oh, I can just change the set dressing. So I may one day borrow into that idea that you have there. Yes, they do. I use a lot of them in my stuff and come up with some of my more fun ideas. Let's get that banner back up there. I'm just, following this cool pattern that's already on here. Making sure that brown gets a little bit over that brown. It does not need to touch the edges. It's just going to add another layer of detail. When we finally put a wash over this thing, it's all going to be uniformed out, and it's going to make that look really cool. Real uniformed out. That's not what I'm trying to say. It'll make it look closer uniformed, I guess is what I'm trying to say. More uniform, as it were. Get that paint on there. And I'm just saying to hell with it. Like, there's a couple of spots here where the red is kind of like either sprayed over top of it or patterned over top of it. I went ahead and said, I'll just go around those and leave that red there so it stands out. Fishy little hands. Does that mean that your hands are small like a fish's hands, or does it mean that your hands smell like fish or like wet like fish? Bookshelf will be need to powered and wired with custom LED nonsense. Why don't you just do like me? Just make rash decisions and start mounting electronics into things that don't, you have no idea what you're supposed to be doing. Why are you still doing it, Famine? It's for fun. And right here, we're going to correct a little error, a painting error from the factory, I guess. This side, the black stripe does connect. Or brown stripe, I should say. This side, it doesn't. So I just connected that. We'll probably go back and give that a couple of good coats, just so that there's some continuity between the two. Then check this out. We're going here into the leg. Again, just going close enough to the edge. You don't have to go over it. You don't have to touch the edge, because it's just adding that next color up, it's almost like. So when it gets the unifying wash over it, it'll look like the color is almost either natural or maybe it was airbrushed on there to get that type of gradient. It's a stupid little trick, but I like it. And if you do go over, it's okay, because again, it adds the expansiveness of it. Put a little on one of these and that. We'll put some more freckles on this guy as we go. But I really wanted to make some of the spots toward the front more prominent. And here we'll go. Put a couple of more dots. Fresh a drink. Favorite dino. Okay, I can tell you when you get back. Alright. I just love the idea of giving this guy some more spots. Like freckles almost. It's just something that's a little more for the character, makes it look cooler. You know, like this guy's got freckles, right? Spots, maybe. How often do you see that with a dinosaur? Not often. I know I don't. Nope. Well, that was a happy little accident. A couple of smaller ones. Leave the belly bare. Put a couple on the legs in that area. So we'll continue with this brown paint. I'm just keeping, that's the one thing I am doing, is keeping it away from the red. It's not going on the red. It's not touching the red. It's leaving that space, and hopefully it'll be apparent as to why once the wash is on there. One of those little detail things. So this guy's got some nice fun speckling on him. Speckling, that's the phrase that I needed to utilize, not freckles, speckles. Almost like a hen or an egg from a hen. There we go. Giving this raptor some more character. Okay, and then we're going to repeat this on this side. I think we'll actually put a couple. We'll do shoulder speckling. There we go. Just blends in. So no matter which way it puts it, we've still got the speckling pattern. I think that's wise. Now we'll repeat the process on this side. And as far as holding it tips go, hold the red paint, plant the feet on your hands. That's the best I could do as far as tips on painting that. And don't tilt the head of the raptor like I am while you're painting it. The head. I love that. There's just very thin, almost vein-like vein-like paint coming away from the raptor's yellow eyeball. I think that's really neat looking. And here I am just, continuing the pattern of the chocolate stripe, or whatever color we're calling this. Burn umber. Staying away from the red. And now we'll kind of pick some points to do some speckling. I'm not trying to do a perfect mirror because I would be the shits at that. It would just be awful. But I am trying to come up with a very similar pattern. done the brown in here. Again, carry some of that color to the chest, make those speckles. Oh, speckly chest. I'll put a couple on here. Just go a little heavier on that color. And I'm really digging the tunes tonight. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Like this, starting to pull it away from the homage to that original Raptor. So when I get the set again and open it up, I don't have to worry about, messing up the other one because the homage is there. This one will be far enough away from it. Maybe I'll do a wash over the red to really make it pop. Okay. Okay. Raptor is going well. My favorite dinosaur is the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Although sometimes, depending on the weather, it's the Triceratops. Just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. What smacks my weenie and makes me feel special. All right. I think she needs a couple of little tiny speckles here. What a pretty raptor. Share it. Share it with us. Right. Let's do nice. early in the program, I was showing off some of those Camp Cretaceous. This is speed paint. Yeah, Camp Cretaceous figures and using them for world building, and that is awesome. So we're going to use Slaughter Red. It's a speed paint. It is by Army Painter. God, I'd love for them to send me some products to test out, because I'm testing them and they're really working out for me on action figures. But I don't have the entire wave. They're a little pricier than what I normally am able to get for paints, or choose to get for paints, I should say. But thrift. Absolutely. I didn't see anything. I'll just use this red here. I'm only going to use a little bit to go a long way. I'm just going right to the edge of the red. Trying not to let it bleed over into the brown. That's the wonderful thing about a transparent red color. Onto something brown. It's likely to just appear as the brown that it was. I don't know. I mean, I'm with you there. Basically, any place corporate. I found a loose figure at Walmart, and I put it in my cart because obviously I didn't want it to get hurt. Didn't want anything to happen to it. And took it through the register and, you know, made it home to my house. I wasn't charged for it. I thought that was weird, but it's this guy right here from the new Batman line. But we'll talk about it in a little bit. Killer Croc. I think that's the balls, the business, the bee's knees. That's the phrase I wanted to use. I really love that difference in red. It's really popping on my end, not on the webcam. So we'll have to see what the other webcam looks like when we show off this color. But this red is really good because it allows the other color to shine through it on the high points. But it's almost like a reverse wash. Well, it's technically a wash, but it's like a same color wash. I don't know how best to describe that. Yeah, we just call it a wash. I think that's what it is. Just fly casual. Too casual. That's probably my favorite bit in Toy Story 2, is when Woody tells Bullseye to act casual, and Bullseye starts grazing. No, it was act natural. Too natural. And he just started grazing on grass in the yard. Cracked me right up. And I'm kind of inspired by using this on this dinosaur here. This JP3 Alpha Male homage. But I might want to use a peachy wash on that vest instead of a black wash. What do you guys think? Worst case scenario, if it's ugly, we just go over it with a black wash and nobody's the wiser except for those of us that, paid attention to my live stream. Yeah. I think that was the way to go with the ride. Hell yeah. And have a good night, my friend. I'm probably going to do winter colors. I think that's the way I want to go with that. Winter colors. H winter. Winter. Let's do the claws on this raptor and mostly wrap it up. Because I realize it is like going on 12:30 for some people. And not everybody's like me, where all of a sudden I get this weird urge to be awake, and I'm inspired by my artwork. I'm inspired by my friends who are here with me. Yeah. Just this is the under plumage. Yeah, actually I think the blues will be more towards the top. I don't know. I've got plenty of time to get there. But that's a rainy day project, I think, since I've got so much stuff with Gimmick that is a little more, not pressing, but a little more present in the world build. There are things that I'm looking forward to doing first before that. How's that? For a sentence in the Queen's English. Oops. I made a mistake. It's alright, it's my dinosaur. I can fix it later. It's my dino and I will fix it later. I'll fix it later. I'll fix it later. You would fix it too if it happened to you. Odd, his dew claw on the one foot is completely missing. Nope, there it is. Alright, I'm just blind. Can't see it. No, I'm just stupid. All right. So we're going to get the fingernails. The old Steve Raptor fingies. I actually did a paper on Steve Raptor fingy. Famous hip-hop artist. Get him doing the Thriller. Okay. He's starting to look like a velociraptor to me. one of the reasons I'm favoring that Therizinosaurus for another time is I'm learning gradients, and I want to do some pretty cool like icy but natural gradients, and I don't feel like the skill level that I want to apply to that raptor, or that, well, it's technically is a bird in the bird family. I don't know why I just rambled about that, but like I want to accomplish, what I set out to on that, so I don't want to half-ass it. Clear out my trout. Give him his goth nails. He will be singing about a black parade in a moment. When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see the marching band. He said, "Son, when you get old, will you be the savior of the beaten, the broken and the damned?" Trying not to get that copyright strike. I don't want, don't want to demonetize the video. Shaman as the starting point. Yeah, hell yeah, Shaman sounds cool. Is this going to be what would it be? Anamorphic? Anaflim? You know what I'm trying to say? Autoerotica? Is it going to be like the ones in Dinotopia, or is it going to be closer to the ones in Jurassic and other science fiction movies? Anthropomorphic. God, did you hear me butcher that? It's not so fast. So the word of the day. Cherry, what's the word of the day? All right. Let's see. Prince. Are you going to have like bones and stuff hanging around its neck? Because while a stereotype of shamanistic people, also fucking really cool. Let's do... Where is that? Brown, decay, peachy flesh. Feathers and seashells. Who in your station sells those seashells down by the seashore? A little bit of peachy flesh by Speed Paint by the Speed Paint line from Army Painter, and it's the 2.0. And now I'm just tipping up our dinosaur friend, and I'm hitting their tongue, peachy flesh, and I'm also going to get the little web of flesh that's there. Let's see if we can get a little bit more in there. Okay, so that's done. I guess we'll do it this way, because this is miserable. All right. Let's get a little bit of a change of tunes here. Even more terrestrial planets. I think I've been there to even more. And we use brown decay. This is where it's going to get nasty. Just a little bit of brown decay. And then I'm going to take a little paint water, thin that out, pull that so far out so it's so thin, so thin. And then I'm going to go over the teeth. And that's going to get down in between the gums. It's going to make the teeth pop. And also it's going to look like those are some nasty teeth inside of a mouth of a killer bella. You got the teeth of a killer bella. Is that what you wanted to hear? You got chompers of a vampire bella. And one thing I do want to remind everybody of is these are all easy techniques, right? I'm literally just taking wet rundown paint with paint water and splashing it around on this raptor's teeth just so he's got more ferociousness to him. Nice. Let me show this here. So we're done with the paint, I think. I don't need to do any more. We'll just give him one final wash at the end, and then he'll get sealed off camera because I'm not spraying, not taking the laptop out for spraying, but it's got a nice new speckled pattern, some brighter reds, and yeah, once it gets that unifying wash, it'll really, all those lines will pop out. I always go over the toes with super glue, but I'll do that later before bed. Keep them from getting scraped up. So we've taken care of the Raptor. The Raptor's done. The motorcycle is more or less done. I'm going to probably do a little dry brushing to dirty this front up with some browns just so it looks like it's been run through the jungle. I mean, I can do that right now with you guys. I don't know why I need to explain it. I don't have to explain it, do I? Forest by the trailer park is usually used as Fangdu in the summer. What is new Fangdu? I feel like I just walked into something on that one. What's that new Fangdu? Just a little bit of brown in the dry brush. So we got little nose on. Okay. One day I'll know what that means. And then it's over for all you hoes. Okay. So So now we've got a bike here, and then for the cushiony seat, we're going to use that brown that we put down, the peachy flesh, I should say, or no, the decaying brown. We're just going to wash it on there, on that really glossy bit, and let it get into those recesses. Then I've just got a little rag. I think I need to let a little of that stay on there. I think we'll really push it into the recesses and let that flow where it needs to go and dry up. I think that's the smartest move there. Do I put it on the tank and then wipe it off? Yes, I do. Because again, my headcanon, this version of Nedry, he takes care of this bike. Yeah. Mostly get it off of there. Cool. And then on that seat, just go like that. Cool. So there's our cycle. I can do some mud splatter later after it's been sealed. And with that, I'll just take a paint that's saturated with a really runny brown and tap it, and it'll fleck on there. We'll go in the direction of that. So that's done. So now we've just got old super press up Dennis Nedry. So for his orange vest, we will do a null oil wash. I think that's the best move. We'll do a shade oil wash. Unless you guys think I should use flesh wash that I don't want to use. That's hard to say. All right, so here's our two choices that I want to use. We can either use gray shading acrylic ink, or we can use null oil. Entirely up to you guys. That's my favorite wash, null oil or the ink. I mean, hell, we could get a little freaky. We could do a flesh wash. We could do burnt sienna ink. I really don't want to do the burnt sienna ink though. But we could also do the peachy flesh, decaying brown oil. All right, got a null oil. What else we got? What else we got here, guys? If I do the peachy flesh, it is closer to a orange color, I think, than the null oil, but I could do the peachy flesh on there and do the null on the boots and the yeah, I think that just answered that. Thanks, everybody. So we'll do the peachy flesh on the orange. We'll see how that looks, and then we'll do the null oil on the pouches and the boots. Okay, so there's our peachiness. What's this movie rated? PG-13? I shouldn't be allowed to have an internet connection. I keep telling you guys. Water. Okay. Catch. There we go. It's like instantly just darkening up the recesses, pulling up in the recesses. I am all about this choice, guys. I think this was it. What do we think? Did that settle that orange down just a little bit? I think it did. We can always do a normal wash over that, though. Nothing's stopping me, and nobody's telling me I can't. Or can. Can't. Those are words in the English language. Okay. This is the normal. Doing all the pouches. I'm laying it on kind of thick on there, because you guys know how this stuff works. Pulls up in all the right places that you want it to. And I can see, actually looking at this, I guess if you wanted to take that apart and maybe sculpt something in place for him, this pouch overlaps the belt and is glued in. So if you pop this one on the far left of the figure's left is our left, you could probably peel that up and then pull that off of there. Get a really good effect. So we got the non-oil on that. Lay it on thick on the boots with the fur. I considered doing a wash on the pants, but again, there's already like an existing wash on there. Okay. So there's the black wash of the null oil on that. And then, surprise, null oil wash on the front tire and the rear tire. Just a little bit, just what's there on the brush, just to give it a little extra character, a little bit extra depth to that plastic. Filling those crevasses and shadows. Crevasses. Everybody complains about the word moist. There's an uncomfortable word, crevasse. Crevice. I keep forgetting there's no camera watching me over here. But yeah, I just went in on the tires and did a little bit. So while we've got the null oil out, let's give this an oil wash, right? Of the null variety. We could always come back in the other ones later. Because actually, you know, black's not really naturally occurring as a camouflaging color or even as a like an actual weathering color, but since this is, you know, make-believe, this is for photography and play and not for, you know, a movie prop, although some would say, let's go ahead and get some null oil in the barrels and stuff. Just do the whole thing. We'll get oil all over it. Grime it up a little bit. Not going to do the hose because it's bendable, and that'll just be it'll be something that we don't need it to be. Oil up the mask though. That's funny to me. Okay. Ugh. That's been beefed up. That's been beefed up. That's been beefed up. Let's put that away. The oil of the gnome variety. Get in the hall of oil. Something under it. I don't know what. All right. I guess we will go on his flesh. We'll take the last of this peachy. Well, we'll put a little more down because he got some muscles. We want to make those muscles pop. We want to make that sexy definition pop. Okay. And we're just going to go over his arms. I'm not going to do the face only because if I don't do the face and I get another one and maybe the glasses are less pristine looking or something, I don't want to lose it because I put on like some tanner on this figure. Although I'm also willing to roll the dice because I was happy to begin with the other, head sculpts on his Wayne Knightiness. Did I say Wayne Knightiness? I did. It's actually a sentence that I just said out loud in my 30s, so guess I made it this long. Anybody here watch Psych? Anyone else a fan? Sean and Gus with their things of Billy Zanian proportions. What I did here was I'm just going over and taking all of it off the high spots, buffing it out basically so that just lives down in his muscled region, and it actually shows off his definition instead of just not definition. Burgalicious definition, make them boys go loco. Oh, Jesus. I don't know. I didn't know I knew those words. Psych as in P-S-Y-C-H. Psych. I'm a little off camera. You're a little off camera. Sorry, that outburst is not indicative of who I am as a person. Should we get a little wash in his ears? Forehead, hairline. I love how this is how my brain works. I just said no a minute ago, like I wasn't going to do this, and I am immediately just doing it. And that's how Famine's brain works. That's how Famine's brain works. That's how Famine's brain works. It's not always that great. I'm just a little off. Nice. Okay. Get his double chin. Just in the recesses and creases on his forehead. Same with his cheeks and under his glasses. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a buff Dennis Nedry. Look at that. We've got a ridiculous flamethrower pack. We did it. We made this figure just a little more badass, a little more cool, a little more great. Let me just get you guys set up here. All right. So, start that over again. We are all done here. Oh, why this light is so insanely bright. It's like obnoxious. Nope. There we go. But we definitely made this figure just more realistic, just more enjoyable. We gave him some definition in his muscles. We gave those boots some more details. The vest, we hit it. The belt, the pouches. He looks like something. His face even got a little love too there. His gun, his acid blaster, I should say. We just gave that a Null and Oil wash. I think that's great. Here is our motorcycle, all detailed to hell. You know, I think we did a fun job. There will be pictures up on the gram at some point. You guys know where to find that, Famine Studios X. I'm happy with that. And then the piece of the resistance. We got a new Alpha Raptor. Just needs a wash. I'm not going to do that, though, on camera because it's so big. And I'll make a mess, so I have to, clean up. But I think that's pretty pleasing for me. So, put that up there. Let that live in its own little spot for now. Here, we'll do Dennis we'll do him a favor. We'll put on the mask. Nobody cared who I was until I put on the mask. By then, it was blinding. You know, fam, you just combined two very important quotes from the movie. Yeah, well. Let's get the light back on. I just don't. One day I'll figure out lighting. One day it'll click with me. That ain't it. Well. But I think that's a fun figure. Great look at him. Check out the boots. Just made the figure more rugged, more world-worn, but also more natural. I really think that helped the arms. And, the ridiculous fucking gas mask on him. And then he's got his Capture Chaos motorcycle, which just is not going to be that for me. I'll figure out something to do with these ports, but in the meantime, that became a gas tank. The bike just got a little weathered, little world lived, and our Raptor. So I hope you guys had an excellent show. I'm glad you guys joined me for almost 3 hours. Are you out of your minds? Well, thank you. Completely changed that character, and 90s were a wild time. Thank you. But yeah, thanks for joining me tonight. That was a long stream. I know that a lot of you came over from World Makers Consortium to be here with me, so I appreciate that. I hope you guys have an excellent weekend. Tomorrow is May the 4th. I don't know if I will be able to be doing any streaming, but if we do, it'll absolutely be Star Wars-based stuff. Probably just do a customs hang and chat, kind of like these are, but way less aim, very aimlessly. That's if I do anything. But otherwise, I hope you guys are well. I hope you enjoy your weekend. I will, like I said, I probably will not have a show Tuesday night just so that I can get my sleep, before my procedure. And yeah, there you go. You two with the orange pants can be buddies. Orange pants and orange shirt. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good weekend. Like I said, be well. And as always, to sweet me. Ooh. Not a problem.